Start your day with God's wisdom. Proverbs 14. Every day is a new chance to choose wisdom over worry, clarity over confusion, and God's plan over our own. Proverbs 14 opens with a truth that cuts deep. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. In other words, we all have power. Power to build or destroy, power to bless or break. This chapter invites us to take responsibility, not with shame, but with courage. With biblical wisdom, our actions can build a life that honors God and helps others. The foundation is already here. We just need to choose it day by day. The beauty of Proverbs 14 is in its constant contrast between wisdom and folly, between good choices and bad consequences. It says, "There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death." This is one of the most powerful reminders in the Bible. Just because something feels right doesn't mean it is right. Feelings are real, but they're not always reliable. That's why we need God's truth to guide us. His word, not our emotions, leads to life. In God's plan, wisdom brings protection, clarity, and peace. Trusting your feelings alone is risky, but trusting God is always safe. Proverbs 14 also reminds us that our attitude matters deeply. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Envy is silent poison. It steals joy, peace, and even health. But peace, real peace, comes from trusting that God's plan is good, even when it's different from what we imagined. Instead of comparing, celebrate. Instead of competing, bless others. When your heart is full of peace, your whole life becomes healthier. And this is the kind of strength that doesn't fade. It grows. Another verse that touches the heart is, "The poor are shunned even by their neighbors, but the rich have many friends." This doesn't mean we chase money for popularity. It reminds us how the world often judges by appearance, but God sees the heart. We must never look down on those with less. In fact, biblical wisdom calls us to lift them up. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. And in God's eyes, love is more valuable than gold. Let your life reflect His compassion, especially for the forgotten. Proverbs 14 also talks about the strength found in fearing the Lord. Whoever fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and for their children it will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord isn't fear like terror. It's deep respect, love, and surrender. When God is your anchor, you don't drift. When you build your life on His truth, you create a home filled with peace. And not just for you, but for your children and your children's children. This is how legacy works. When your choices are rooted in God's plan, the blessings overflow to future generations. The chapter continues with this gem. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and rejoicing may end in grief. Life isn't always what it seems. People may look happy, but carry pain. This teaches us empathy. Before you judge someone's actions, consider their unseen burdens. And for your own life, remember, it's okay to not be okay. God sees the hidden tears, and He offers comfort that no one else can. When we're honest about our struggles, we open space for healing. That honesty invites God in. A wise man fears the Lord and shuns evil, but a fool is hot-headed and reckless. Wisdom leads to caution, not fear, but discernment. Being bold doesn't mean being careless. Real strength knows when to walk away, when to pause, and when to ask for God's guidance. Every decision is a seed. What are you planting today? Wisdom plants peace, protection, and blessing. Recklessness brings regret. Let this verse guide your steps. Another profound truth in Proverbs 14 is, whoever is kind to the needy honors God. We honor God not just with words, but with action. Compassion is an act of worship. When you help someone in need, you're touching the heart of God. You're saying, I see you, you matter. That is biblical wisdom in action. And that's how we build a better world, one act of love at a time. The final verses remind us that righteousness exalts a nation, but sin condemns any people. This is more than politics. It's about the heart of a community. When people choose truth, justice, and mercy, the land is blessed. But when selfishness rules, division grows. So be the light. Be the voice of peace. Start in your home, your job, your friendships. Live the kind of life that reflects God's plan, and watch how it transforms the atmosphere around you. As you begin this day, let Proverbs 14 shape your thoughts, words, and choices. Let it remind you that wisdom is not far away. It's here, in your hands, in your heart, in God's Word. This daily devotional to learn English and grow your faith is your invitation to slow down, reflect, and reset. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. Start your day with God's wisdom, and everything else will follow. Faith, peace, purpose, joy. It all begins with one decision: to walk in truth today.